Look at Hollywood got it going on. What's up, young lady? So you the lady I've been hearing so much about the last couple of days. They been talking about you.
What have you heard?
Nothing bad. You said you're real pretty. Look at you. You said you're over there. You helping out. You helping out a little bit. You picking up some slack that somebody else over there ain't doing as far as keeping the house clean. But he said you was in a situation. He said you wanted to talk to him. Let's get your name and your age, your nickname.
My nickname?
You gotta give me your real name if you don't want to.
Well, I got two.
Whichever one you like the most.
Harley. When
Harley?
I need to eat.
Huh?
And then
Harley with an E?
when I need to eat.
Oh.
And then Queen Bee on the other side who
What's the difference between Harley and Queen Bee?
Well, Harley's
and a real person.
Well, Harley's more of a definition of she tries to fend for herself, even though she's down and out. She has an addiction, but it doesn't get the best of her. So she seeks out more in life. And then during those times, she comes up with these ideas as such. And then she becomes Queen Bee. Because with these ideas, it seems like it's, I don't know, like the manipulative matter for thought. Yeah, here we go.
Okay.
The frequency that goes out. Okay, so the thought process, law of attraction, expands out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like it reflects in other people. And those ideas keep on reflecting, and it does nothing but make people prosper in life.
Right. Okay.
So I've had a lot of sponsorships. Had a hotel go up in my name.
What you mean by go up? Burn?
It was a sponsorship. No, it went up, as in it was built.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, in your name? Oh, so they built a hotel after you?
It's called True Hotel.
What's the name of it?
True.
True Hotel? And what inspired them to build that after you?
Well, it started making people come out more with integrity.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
And it wasn't supposed to be a tell-all, but it seems like everybody telling their mom and daddy everything. So.
Right.
You know.
Integrity. It's hard to find people that got active addictions that still have integrity. They might have a little bit that shows integrity sometimes, but a lot of times addiction, it.
Let me show you something here. Well, mine's not really active. I came up to see with the scenario. But the thing is, I got ripped off. One night I was sitting in my bed. I was getting high then. And I came up with this product. But they pressed forward and went through with production without my say-so. And this is when I came up with micro and micro.
Okay.
So it was supposed to be like you get your CBD substances at a smoke shop, but that's like the substitute for marijuana.
Right.
Well, that's what this was, the substitute for crack cocaine or ice.
Right.
So
those are the addictions that you used to struggle with in the past? So if you ain't got an active addiction, what led you to having nowhere to go, trying to stay with Hollywood?
Well, I fell short in a trap.
What you mean?
I was a slave to the drug. I was in an abusive relationship, probably, or more. They told me all my family was dead. Played off sounds of my own children being using AI technology, which fell into the wrong hands of someone evil, and set up.
Hold on for a minute. Yeah, I apologize about that. I just had to make sure when nobody going in my goddamn truck. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. I forgot where we was at.
Well,
you were telling me about
the brutality of how life can be and how you can escape.
So you were done talking about your ex-boyfriend, ex-relationship?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I thought it was a boyfriend, but supposedly it was a payoff thing.
Oh yeah, you can't say that on the
He got exposed, man.
Yeah, you can't talk about that on YouTube anyway.
Yeah.
But let's move forward.
Well, we can bleep that out.
Yeah, I got it. I have it.
But that was, I mean, it was all of that, you know. It's
okay,
like, okay,
so we got Harley, we got Queen Bee.
I'm in True Blue.
And
I also had a commercial come out in my name.
Okay, hold on.
It was for a commercial.
Okay, I want to know who the real you is. Your government, who you are. Before the Harley, before the Queen Bee. Let's talk about your childhood a little bit. You grew up in a two-parent household?
No, broken family.
Huh?
Broken family.
Broken family.
In and out of foster care my whole life. Group home.
So you went through the system as a child.
So yeah.
Right.
But I was passed around. You know, it takes a village to raise a child, right?
It take two good parents to raise a child. I don't want my son passed around through all them different systems, and then say it take a village to raise a child. And I get that because sometimes we be hurt and we say things, have have a good personality about the things we went through. But I'm an honest man. I'm gonna raise my motherfucking child myself.
I refrain from contacting my children in fear of them being tracked and
You say what now?
in fear of them being tracked or done in.
Oh yeah. So you do have kids?
3.
3. And you raise them all the way till you split with this man?
Yeah. Well, I mean, split custody. So.
Huh?
I raised them when they were little. From the time they were born to little, and then we separated, and then they were back and forth between me and the grandma.
You love the kids?
Very much so.
No. Most parents do love their kids. You finished high school?
I went and got my GED.
You finished.
But through this little AI thing, I got a PhD in psychology and a doctorate.
Okay then. All right then. That's what's up. So how old were you when you started hanging out, getting high and stuff like that?
First time I was 14, tried it, dropped it. And then second time I was late 20s. I've smoked marijuana though my whole life. Drank. First cigarette was at 8. Let's see, what else? Tried cocaine in the early 20s when I broke my ankle. And but then got put on supervised probation because I couldn't pay off my regular probation because I got into it with my ex's mom. And yeah, whatever. But I had to get back to work quick, so I took whole snips and cut my cast off and taught myself how to rewalk all in one night and went back to work all in one night.
All in one night?
You should have seen me. It was freaking horrible. I had one calf like this big and the other one regular size. Yeah, it was freaking horrible.
So when did you become Harley? In your 20s?
Well, I don't know. Kind of been Harley my whole life.
Okay, kind of been Harley. Hey, so Harley.
But I've always had a guardian angel. It seemed like.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, give or take, it didn't matter. So, but more or less, I mean, the name became famous when about 4 years ago, 3.5.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. So, what?
And that's where I met Sebastian and all them.
During your time of addiction, what were some of the negative consequences?
Well, jail time.
A lot of jail time?
Yeah, being set up, thinking I was a part of a show that was supposed to be some intense rehabilitation, more or less like a sitcom, but based on real life terms. Consequences supposedly afterwards, but I thought certain things were set up, and then I thought I was in for special training. To benefit a better cause, and come to find out what. And
so how has addiction had an impact on your school relationship, with your education, your family relationships, your friends and things like that, and your kids?
Personally, I'm good at when it comes to making friends. I'm the social butterfly.
Okay.
You
and Katie should get along good.
It's all about the environment. And then, let's see what else. With my children, I never subjected them to that. I refrained. When they were around, I never did shit, period. I wouldn't even drink in front of them before it cup. I didn't even smoke in my house. Cigarettes, that is. Let's see. My family, black sheep, made. Because they were black sheep, so part of societies that I wasn't made aware of, and then introduced later, and then I get to pay further consequences.
Right. What's stopping you from working?
Nothing.
Why you don't have a job?
Well, I had a nervous breakdown not so long ago,
So that's
And
stopping you from working?
In a way, it did. It mentally disabled me, where it basically disabled me, and then I came up with heart problems.
Damn.
But I think in time the heart heals,
Right.
and with that, with the neurological damage, it expanded. So.
Yeah.
But I still work. I've worked since then. Scrap metal, clean homes, paint. I did construction for 7 years.
Construction?
Roofing for 2.
You got a little tomboy in you?
But
Hey, yo, so talk about one of your most proudest moments.
the day I gave birth to my children, the day I got my GED, the day I thought I became somebody who I did when I became Queen Bee. The honeybee, by the way.
Yeah. Right.
And when I knew that I was helping my community come up, and even though I wasn't the best example, I was a role model and an idol. So people who didn't really know how to function and felt like a disarray and didn't know which way to turn and such, well, it kind of gave them a routing point, direction.
Right. So that why they built the hotel and stuff? And the commercials? Talk about the commercials in the hotels you talking about?
Well, the hotel is just a sponsorship.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
You say you have you have 4 commercials?
I had a Ford commercial. It was Ford trucks. It was Ford in the trucks anyways. I was like, well, damn. I was like, I really don't like Ford, but I like Mustangs. So,
I got a Mustang.
But they still supported my name, True Blue.
Oh yeah.
That was in the beginning of the show, along with that G's off 102 Jam. So
Right.
yada yada yada.
Queen Bee, you ever being clean? You ever went to rehab and things like that?
Yes, I did. I went to after jail. I went to Life Skills at Tabitha's ministry. I went there for 2 months, and and more so when I come across a book, it's called Switch on the Brain, and that's when things that I was experiencing started making sense, because I was seeing things out of the ordinary, I was hearing things out of the ordinary, but then come to find out I ain't the only one. So I felt bad, but because of my toxic, the bad and negative that's built up in me and what I was taught throughout the past 4 years, it reflected too much, and so I got kicked out. And because I had a lot of hate. But granted, give or take, I don't react until someone takes action.
Right.
But,
So what triggers you to relapse?
hurt. It's not that I've relapsed. It's I've tried to escape the torment and the torture of what's been accepted in today's society. I guess humiliating people and taking their spirit and just dismantling it.
Right. Let me ask you something. If there was one thing you could change about the world, what would it be?
Less bullies.
Less police? Okay. Well, that's a fair answer. Listen, before I end interviews, I always ask people to give the youth some advice. Just in case there's a young person thinking about trying drugs and that lifestyle for the first time, what would you say to that person to stop them?
Let's go play baseball.
Let's go do something else. Let's go do something positive. Let's go play sports. Let's go play baseball. Anything but that. Man, God bless you. That was powerful. Peace.